Let's take that Adani story forward. Let's really understand that the latest communication to the exchanges from the Adani Group, how should one really understand and read into it? Advocate PR Ramesh joins us now. Mr. Ramesh, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Can you break the news for our viewers, because the Adani Group has communicated to the exchanges that there are no bribery charge against the promoter family or the top professionals. What does that mean? I mean, the story last week was different. Now what the Adani Group in a sense has communicated to the exchanges is very different. Can you just add it for us, please?
Yeah, good morning to everyone. I just saw the news, and we are now talking of a document called the indictment, which was made on 24th October. Okay, so and we are talking about this document, and there has been a lot of confusion on what is exactly happening and what are the charges and all. If you really see this, this whole document, which is a charge, it's the charge. Like typically in India, you do an FIR and then you do a charge in the court. It's typically like a charge. And in the charge, so because after this media release to the exchange, I just was going through that, and what I find is that if you see the charge of this they have done the USS the jury has done charges under different counts. One is under the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, and other things under the SEC rules. Okay, now fraud charges and all. Now, when you look at the foreign FCPA, what you call as the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, and I find that in para 125, which is actually the charging provision under this indictment, Mr. Adani's name is not there. Actually, the allegations are against one Mr. Ranjit Gupta, some Cyril Kevins, Saurabh Agarwal, Deepak Malhotra, Rupesh Agarwal. So though they say that all of these people conspired with the Adani Group and all those things, Mr. Adani is particularly not charged under the FCPA under this count. Okay, I think that is what now I think the group is trying to clarify.
Telling us and what you're confirming to us is that last week this entire news where that a US court had indicted Adani Group, Gautam Adani, Sagar Adani, Vineet Jain for bribery charges. That is actually not true. That is a misinterpretation of the news.
See, how we have to read now. See, typically, I will explain to you. Like take an analogy of like an Indian case. See, typically what happens, CBI will file charges. Okay, assuming there is a CBI case, CBI will file charges under the Penal Code plus what you call as the Prevention of Corruption Act in India. Now what happens is so many people are listed, and then the charge against each of them is done under the different provisions of different acts. So under this particular, if you see this, under the FCPA, which is the corruption and the bribery. So those, see, like 120 paragraphs relate to the factual information, factual allegations, and all these people met Mr. Adani. They did this, they did that. Some Indian politicians, all Indian officials, all these are all there. But finally, when it comes to charging, so they have not charged Mr. Gautam Adani, Sagar Adani, and that Vineet Jain. These people have not been charged under the FCPA. That is the difference, actually. So but there are others, like others. They are saying these 3-4 people I just read out. So they have been charged of conspiring with Mr. Adani, and they are typically looking at the US issuers. Okay, because the 4 people charged are directly linked to the US issuer. So the charge is against them and not against the people outside of the US, particularly Mr. Adani, who are all based in India. So the other important thing I want to mention is that when this type of indictment happens against Indian officials, Indian politicians, and all those things, I have a serious doubt whether the US has a jurisdiction over these gentlemen in India, because when it looks that government of India officials and all, they don't come under the US courts. So this is a big difference is there, and if at all anything has to be done, they have to request India to conduct an investigation and all. So it cannot be that like they can charge somebody like a government Indian official under the US law. That is all not possible. Okay, so I think this particular clarification was needed, I think, because people are not reading exactly what was the indictment.
All right. Thank you for sharing with us your thoughts. That is the latest that has come in with respect to the case and the indictment row, that Adani Group has clarified that there are no bribery charges against Gautam Adani, Sagar Adani or Vineet Jain. We'll have to...
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.